All right. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see. There we go. Nice. All right. So this is really neat, kind of a big deal for me because I just got a light. I've been kind of working on the situation, this little area, little bit by little. So, let me start off. Hi, I'm Trey, Broken Path Shaman. Welcome to my virtual medicine lodge. Happy to have you here. I got to work on the light. It's not exactly where I need it, but I wanted to do something. So today I just really wanted to chat with everybody that shows up. This is a place where I share meditation daily, and I try and do it earlier in the day. The earlier I meditate, the easier it is to keep my schedule. But then there's days where if I don't do it early, things get in the way. So like today, I did a lot. It was a very busy day, very good day. Some excellent things. Started a yoga program that I'm pretty excited about. Just personal journey kind of stuff, but super excited. But I'm here to share space with you every day, to do some type of meditation, some type of bringing intent into a shared space. So had to record something for you, had to go live. And I realized as I was thinking about it, I was like, oh yeah, of course. Sorry, I didn't finish. Of course I've done my meditation for today. And you know what? No, I did not sit with intent and do anything. I did some yoga in a different way, and it was kind of a course that I started, and that was really cool and pushed some boundaries personally, but I didn't meditate. So just say it was an impactful day, but I didn't actually meditate today. So what I do want to bring to you is, what can you do when you run into days like this? Like, what am I connecting to, right? So what I'll say is, and this is a chance for me to just kind of chat with you folks, bring that intent to your space. So a couple ways to just tap into some quick meditation is really just take a moment to breathe and just really feel the space that we're in. And just bringing myself really grounded to where I'm at, right? So, and then when I really tap into that meditation, into that space, you can feel how you just kind of tapped into the source, as an acquaintance likes to say. So some of the things that I'm looking for, and I need to try and keep my eyes open while we do this together. Some of the things I'm looking for when I say about the intent and what I'm doing is, one, I do an active inhale. I really work to fill up my lungs. And then I just release it. Once they're full at the top, I just let go. And since I've built up that pressure, that excessive pressure in my lungs, because I've filled them up so much, when I just let it go, it just comes out by itself. So I'm not forcing it out. It's not that would be a definite force the air out. It's just, and because those lungs are so full, it just comes through. And to me, what that does is, as I let that air out, as I let that pressure go, the tension is also what gets released. And that's through practice. It sounds kind of funny. I'm not actively trying to get the tension out, but through my actions, I'm trying to get the tension out. A slight difference. So by the action of just practicing that breath every day, where I take an active inhale and then I just let it out, I have triggers because of all the meditation that we've done that brings me to that spot. So for me, meditation, and for anybody who practices, can come a lot quicker if you start doing these things as a daily practice. So even though today I'm coming to you to just be a little bit more informal because it's evening, I'm getting to test my lights. I'm pretty excited. So now I can shoot as the days get shorter in the second half of the year, and you can check my video on sun cycles. As we're getting to the yin part of the year, or we're in the yin part of the year, where the sun is shorter and shorter days, the sun is out less and less every day. When I meditate in the mornings, it's hard to have light. So I ordered some lights for my studio, yay! And I get to test them today. And when they came in this morning, I was like, I'll just record tonight. So off the path, or I'm getting distracted. But the point is, if you meditate on a regular basis, when you do certain things, you can bring yourself to that meditation spot a lot quicker, right? And understandably, it won't be as deep, and there's definitely progressions. Like when I do a longer meditation, I fall into a deeper state of being that's just awesome, than a quick one, which is still awesome, but I don't get all the journey. I get kind of like teleported, and sometimes it's fun just to sit in a train and look out the window and see everything go by and not necessarily just fly right to the destination. So even though I'm coming to the moment with intent, reaching, I don't have the right vocabulary for the spots that I'm getting to, but reaching that area of relaxation and just, it's like sublimity, sublimeness. Yeah, it's just fun. It's good. So the quick recap on that one is, because I take an active breath and that relaxing exhale, I can get quickly to a meditation spot. And then meditation is very much about the intent I bring. So my intent is to heal the world. So taking a deep breath with that in mind. It's just awesome. And then I notice too, when I take to the correct posture. So as you fill your lungs, it's hard to have improper posture, because you can, if being honest with myself, I can feel where my lungs are pushing up against the incorrect posture. So a full inhale, a full body of air gives you form from the inside to correct your posture. So if you ever feel like you're slumping, just take a deep breath. And that's what happens when I hit that very active yang breath in meditation, is boom, pulls me right to that spot. Now, one thing that to kind of talk about breathing a little bit more, one thing that I've noticed with breathing too, is that up until recently, I started doing a soulful breath work a couple years ago, and it really brought me to this path that you see me on now. But I realized early on in that soulful breath work practice that I had taken for granted breath my entire life. I thought I was breathing. We do these just normal breaths every day. We've been doing it for our whole lives, and I had taken it for granted. During breath work, you try and take a very active inhale, and it was amazing the tightness I would feel like around my throat and my shoulders. As I tried to breathe, it was like the whole top of my body would come up into my throat, and there was a lot of tension that I just had to learn to release from the body. And learning it through exercise and just relaxation and meditation. So that, yeah, my chest rising is fine, but my shoulders shouldn't be crunching towards my ear like a marionette puppet that's being pulled up by strings on his shoulder. No, it should really be, chest fills up that space and it rises naturally, but the shoulders stay relaxed and that head and that crown just pull up. I discovered all of that through multiple sessions of breath. And then I took my breathing serious, because at that point, the light had just been shined on how poorly I'd been breathing my whole life through those first few sessions of breath work, through those first 6 months, 1 year. And then I was exercising too, because as you meditate, your life changes. As you bring intent to your life, the things that you've been doing carelessly, not you, me, the things I had been doing carelessly start to fall away. So as I meditated, my life started changing. And I was doing different type of meditations of soulful breath work. So it was very active. It's kind of like a jackhammer to the whole meditation process. It really pounds in some understanding. But it was beautiful because I started working out. I started riding bikes to work, had a lot of changes in my life, too much to go into here. But exercise came out of that. And when I would really push myself during exercise, because I just have that kind of eye of the tiger uh, drive when I exercise, that I would hit those parts where I was tired, just gasping for breath. And when your body is exhausted and your muscles and your mind are pounding to go for more, and all your body, your lungs can do is just respond and pull in that air, I would realize where the tension was coming from and how I had to not push through the tension, but work through the tension through practice and exercise. So what happened was I would take big breaths, and it would I hate to say the word hurt because it didn't hurt, but it would definitely be a strenuous breath, just you're riding the bike as hard as you can, going up the hill, pulling in those huge gulps of air, trying to feed all the muscles with more air to make it up this hill that I live at the top of on my bike. And that's when I discovered breath even more, which would be similar to a long meditation, like in a Shavasana, where you're just really pulling it in, but it's so long it almost seems agonizing, even though it's the easy. You're lying on your back in Shavasana. It's a corpse pose in yoga. You just lie on your back like you go to sleep, but it can be difficult. And so it's that same kind of, I kind of lost track on that one, sorry, but it's the same idea that when you do a meditation for a long time and you continue that breathing, even though it's not ecstatic exercise, like aerobic exercise, it can still be a strain on the body that you can, very similar to a quick workout. So a long meditation can be like a quick workout when it comes to certain parts of your body that are exercise. And this, I'm talking about breath. So blew my mind when I'm sitting there exhausted, trying to pump up the hill even further, pulling more breath in to realize that I had not been breathing well enough, because if I just shifted a little here and shifted a little there and loosened up there, I got more air into my lungs to push that much further. So soulful breath work taught me, or at least shown the light to me, that I hadn't been breathing well. Then exercise and practice and getting more air in my lungs, I started realizing better techniques to breathe. And now, years later, I guess, gosh, at least a couple years later, I'm doing a daily meditation where the breath is so important to me. Like, there's so much with the breath that I don't even talk about because it's a class. It's really like people need to be able to sit, listen, and learn. And right now we're just sharing space. I'm not worried about the feedback loop that a student and teacher would take. So right now we're just sharing space. That's why I always love questions. People want to reach out, however, through Twitter, through YouTube comments, whatever. Yeah, it's a conversation back and forth because, yeah, we're sharing space. We're community. That's what we do. We're a tribe together, accountable to each other for meditation every day, right? So with that said, breathing is really important to the meditation too. And so when I'm sharing space with you, I'm actually practicing my breathing, really working in those different areas to just, expand those muscles and feel things a little differently. So breath. And then the other thing is posture. So today I got into yoga. I've been into yoga, but really got into some specific yoga that I'm excited about. But the key is, I know there's this combination of body and breath and motion and breathing. Qigong does a great job, karate, all this stuff kind of brings it all together. Like there's this motion and there's this chi and there's these union of forces. And so postures can bring a lot of untapped knowledge, unknown knowledge to these meditations that we do. And so like the meditation that I do every day with everybody, it goes through 3 cycles and it's really just beautiful and sublime. I picked it just intuitively. It was something that I did. It felt comfortable. I did it as I did it more just because lack of creativity. I was like, well, this works. I can do it. Let me just keep doing it. It's something I can bring to the space every day. But I realized through that just dedication to it, there's even more to it. It was really neat. So I start in a kneeling pose. And that kneeling pose really lets me straighten out my back. And it's amazing how at that posture I can release kind of the muscles on your butt, kind of all the muscles that would be touching or close to the ground, facing the ground, perineum. Yeah, all these muscles, just to feel those and that connection with the root. And then on my legs, that compaction in my legs. And so there's something that comes out of that. And it really is a more contemplative kind of feel that comes from it. But then I get to the second posture, which is a butterfly pose. And I love how the soles of my feet complete this circuit in the bottom of my body, really in my body entirely. But since the soles of my feet and my knees are on the ground, it really starts to like make me really feel the connection with the earth, because so many parts of me are on the earth, and breathing there for like 10 minutes is awesome. Then I get to the third pose, which is the Tadasana or Pranayama, a mountain pose. So I actually stand up. So now I've gone from being on my shins and the tops of my feet to my butt and the bottoms of my legs and my knees touching the ground, to now my feet touching the ground, right? So it's different parts of my body touching the ground, and different postures where I'm really the core stability foundation is moving more up, right? From knees to butt to standing. And so then when I stand in a Tadasana, it is just incredible if I can hit the Tadasana just right. All these poses have the most efficient way to do them, the best way to do them. And so every day I don't always hit things the best way, but when I hit that Tadasana just right, oh my gosh, to feel that energy just through your spine, through your body, the feet stretching and really planting and rooting into the ground. But then that stretching of my chest and my eyes, not my eyes literally, but like the eyebrows and just getting into it. And then the smile. There's something about breathing and smiling while in that Tadasana, really reaching to the sky, but grounding in the earth, all that happening at the same time. So even though we're doing all these postures, that slight difference and really getting into those postures getting into each of those postures with each cycle is just liberating, incredible. So one last thing, also when I'm in the second cycle, it's really first and second cycle, the kneeling posture and the butterfly posture really get me to the point where I'm ready to kind of send out Reiki and really just kind of spread it out. The mountain pose is just more, always feels like a grounding. Like sometimes I'm kind of reaching out with Reiki, but it really is just a grounding of all that energy, and almost like a refilling after working on stuff. So I don't know, hard to explain. It's better if it's a conversation, and I'm just going off the top of my, just off the cuffs, off the top of my head. But I just wanted to share with you that meditation can happen in a short space, and it really can happen quicker if you do it more often, so that you can have triggers to bring you right back into the space that you're trying to get to. So I'm so happy to be able to share this space with everybody. Tomorrow morning, we're going to be at it, doing again. And I didn't even talk about mudras. There's also this mudra stuff with the hands, hand gestures. I was really feeling it out early this year, way before I started recording on YouTube. And just to go quickly, so each of the fingers of the hand is related to an element. So thumb is going to be fire, first finger should be air, then you have space in your middle finger. Oh yeah, space. So it's space, and then you have earth, and you have water. There we go. And water's on the pinky. So water, earth, space. There we go. Space, air, fire. And as we touch them, there we go. We balance them. So when you touch the tips, you're balancing that element in your body. And you want to do it on both hands. I'm just going quick to show you, but you want to stick in each one of these. And so for about 5 minutes or so. But when I do that too with the meditation, whole new level. And then this one's really specific. So putting the thumb to the pad of the ring finger on both hands, right? So that really helps with sending out Reiki energy to folks. So huge stuff, lots of stuff going on. There's always too much to talk about, but these are the things that I try and just incorporate all together. So namaste, love you. I'll work on light angles another time because it really feels like a ton of shadows on the side of my face when I like lean into the light, but lots of fun. Namaste, love you all. See you tomorrow.